What's up, everyone? Today we're back on the GS. Now, as you can see, I started stripping some of that undercoating. We found it's a little bit worse. Well, it's a lot worse than I was thinking. So unfortunately, this trunk drop down is no bueno. Part of it was there's so much Bondo that they stuffed in that area, it just retained the moisture. It is what it is. We'll have to go ahead and order a new one of these because we do not have a replacement. The one on this side we'll be able to use from the spare quarter panel. Unfortunately, the quarter panel itself, it ends up being in pretty rough shape too. So we'll be able to use part of the inside wheel well and the actual drop down for the passenger side. Now, we have issue with the inside wheel well on here. Fortunately, they do make a repair piece for right there. Not a big deal. We won't have to strip the whole thing out. We can just do the bottom portion of it, front and back. New drop down. We'll have to just do quarter panels. Unfortunately, it is what it is. But we want to do it right, even though we're doing it in our driveway. It's very important that we get her correct. So what we're going to do today is finish building up this side of the actual trunk pan. Now, I have started modification on the side here, and then we'll work on doing the repair from the bottom half of this inner wheel well, as well as the drop down. Once that is all sorted out, we'll be able to go ahead, put this center or this side of the floor pan in, and then we'll be able to do all of the structure that will go with it. We'll have the trunk done and we'll have to revisit certain portions of it, but right now I want to be able to get it back onto the frame so it's a lot more safe than it just doing that. Also, we need to start doing some stiffening of the frame. So we're going to continue working with what we got, do the repairs that are needed, and then we'll have to revisit the quarter panels down the road as well as the outer wheel wells. But this will actually be not too bad. So, all right, let me go ahead. I'll show you the modifications I've done so far. I can't find any floor pans that go up high enough and don't have the ridge, so we knocked them out, and I started doing the contour of the actual existing pan. And what we'll do is, once we figure exactly what we need, we'll just trim her out, and then it should just go straight in. Then just a matter of putting a nice layer of paint on it. Now, we still need to trim that side too, but step at a time, one step at a time. We'll get her. So we managed to get quite a bit done so far today, and I'm actually really excited. It's not perfect, but we're actually able to finesse the more Chevelle style trunk into the car, and it's working out very well. So as you can see right here, there's an overlap. We will end up trimming this back so that we can get a nice butt weld along there, and we do have to fold these back. I'll show you what the other one looks like in just a second. We have the two brackets. Just all of this is just stainless steel self-drilled into place, so in case we need to make alterations, it's very easy. There are much more expensive ways to do it, but I find this is the best way because the stainless steel ones hold up a lot better. They are able to be used multiple times. You can put them back in and use them the next time you're trying to fit things like this together. We go underneath. You can see we have the one bracket sitting right there. They're just self-drilled into this, and as you can see, I don't know if I already told this in earlier. Yeah, I think I did. It's rotted out. We're gonna have to go ahead and replace it. So when we weld this section, when we weld it all together rather, we'll go ahead and just leave the self-drillers in there for now, so we can remove this and just slide the new trunk extensions on later. This side, we're going to be able to repair the one out of the other quarter panel without an issue. There's only very little amount of rust on it, so we'll be able to salvage that. Scoot in a little bit further, you can see we still have to do a little bit of self-drilling. The other cool thing about the self-drillers is it will pull it into place, so you can make any modifications you need to make at that point too. We have obviously we're gonna have to cut a section out of this and put a patch in, because this is just, the steel was really bad over here. Same with this. I was able to drill the spot welds out and then knock them out a little bit, but we're gonna have to patch a few spots in the process, and then just finish zipping this all together so that it's got nice strong structure to it. Now, before we start doing the same thing on this side, we do need to do slight modification to the other floor pan, and we need to get the other extension off so that we can do the repair. While we're in it, we're gonna repair this, and eventually we'll probably pull the quarter panel out as well, but we'll see what we can find to repair that later. So, all right. Next thing, strip that apart. So I've been working on stripping this down. We got the what was left of the crossbar off, and there was a little bit of rust there, and I noticed that, so I started kind of just filling around with it. And unfortunately, this one's not much better than what's on the driver's side currently. So I really don't see a reason to strip it and do the repair when these are about 80 bucks. We're gonna have a lot, we already have quite a bit of time into pulling this off as it is. We'd have to finish taking all of these millions of spot welds out, and quite honestly, it's just a matter of garbage. So we'll go on and start doing exactly what we did on the last one, which was we'll flip, where is it? On the other side here. We'll flip this piece right here around. We'll cut this so that it's notched. Straighten this lip out all the way across, notch it right there, and we'll go ahead and get this fitted into the car as well. But that's a bummer, guys. But what can you do? It was a hope and a prayer that it would work out, but at this point, there's no point of putting junk on the car. Might as well just buy new. I'm disappointed, but it is what it is. We move on. Okay, we got to get this right here spun around and that straightened out. Well, guys, today's another day, and we do have the floor pan in. I did end up trimming that one right there a little bit too small, but that's an easy repair. I still have the piece. We just have to get it in there, and you know, I gave myself a little extra work to deal with. This right here would be probably the best candidate, would be a full one-piece floor, but this is what we have to work with, and it's honestly, it's not the worst fit. I thought it was going to be worse than it is. We have to do a little bit of finagling of things before we start putting our tack welds. Right now it's all put in via self drillers, that way we can take them out, move them around a little bit, but at this point it's all where it should be. All of our brackets are in place except for the rear crossbar, which we'll go ahead and add later. This needs to be trimmed up, this needs to be trimmed up. There's a lot of trimming before we get to that point. It's really, right now we just got to do the finishing up of the floor pan. I did start doing the mounts. Obviously we need them so we get it on the final location, and where I wire brushed the paint and undercoating off, I did hit it with some self-etching primer. As you can see, I didn't do all the way down there because we do have some significant rust at that point, so that's going to have to get cut off. Why waste self-etching primer? It's kind of expensive. So we're pretty much to the point where we need to just land it, and it's looking good. It's looking very good, guys. Not bad at all. So this is definitely something where having a lift would be a lot more convenient, but just, you know, stick that out of there like that, drop her down. We got to do the same thing over there. That one's going to be a little bit more complicated, but we have all of our pucks in the right location, so you know, it is what it is. So the next thing we're going to do, I have all the little pucks in place that need to be in place. I'm going to lift the back up, just sneak that 4x4 out. And then I'll
So you can't do that at the same time?
Nope. Third arm is not, you know, not grown yet. Hold on a second.
Fourth arm.
Now,
Gotta go up.
I need
You need gloves or something?
no, I need something to stand on. I'm too short.
Don't stand on that bucket because it won't be.
No. Why not? You don't want to step on a bucket and see what happens?
Well, I know what happens because I've been there and done that. Are they supposed to have washers on these back ones?
Yeah. No, those back ones are just pucks.
Okay.
They're just spacers. Ready?
Yep.
like a glove.
Should have stepped on the wheel
I could have stepped on the wheel. That would have been smart.
instead of me sitting on it.
It still needs to be lined up, but at least she's down. Oh.
Yeah, at
Cool.
least now you can jack it up.
Great.
Just jack it up a little bit from behind.
Yep.
Got some underneath here.
Yeah.
Okay.
This way I can get the
That's it, huh?
the floor pan organized.
It's really not that bad.
Well, guys, we're pretty close to what looks like it's going to be a very interesting storm. It's got some pretty loud thunder, so we're cleaning up now. But, guys, look, it's on its own frame for the first time. It has a solid frame in forever. This is big. Now, it doesn't have the bolts in there because that cross member has to be replaced. And we still have to finish fitting up the trunk. You know, make sure that it's all 100%. As you can see, it allows me to work on it a lot better with it down. And once we get it all, you know, I'll put a little brace underneath it, kind of get it so that it's perfectly level across, because right now she's a little cattywampus. Nothing's really holding the centerpiece in, except for it's underneath the other two. It probably will only take several hours to get it right. We're probably talking 5 hours of just fighting with it and getting it welded, but I'd rather spend the time and get it right than just rush through it. And we'll just have to patch the rear that I cut out a little too much there. But she's nice and solid, guys. Oh yeah, you can hear the wind starting to pick up. Those clouds are coming in fast. So, really quick update for today. Of course, cross member the crossbar has to go on the back of this, but we're not going to be able to do that until the trunk is 100%. We don't want to start putting welds on that and chase our tail on it. So, I think it's time to go inside, because I don't think I want to be stuck outside with this one. Oh, and the caddy windows are up. So I gotta go, guys. You have yourselves a wonderful night. Remember, as always, keep your shiny side up, and God bless.